Namaskaram. Namaskaram to everyone.
Namaskaram. Firstly, it's an honor, Sadhguru, to be sitting here in front of you and being able to have a conversation with you. So, thank you so much for this opportunity, and good evening to one and all here. I have to admit that this is the first time I feel stage fear. I've never been camera conscious. I've never had stage fear, even in school. But I was just hoping that I don't get over mesmerized and just don't forget the things that I have in my...
I'll be looking away.
Yes, please. and the questions that I have in my mind. So, shall we begin?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I was told that my topic or what we talk about is mission life today. And when I think of life, the first thing that comes to my mind is that life begins right in the womb of the mother, right? And each one of us takes birth in different kind of families, some poor, some very rich families. And they say that it's your past life that determines that. So what is that? What is your view on past life? And is it possible for every person to kind of get to know what their past was?
No. Now, it is true that if you… those who have more than one child, would know this if they paid attention. But otherwise, you can go to a hospital, watch 10 children who are just born. You will see these 10 children are not same, they're just born, but they're not same. Each one of them have their own characteristic. Even if two children have come of the same parents, you have a sibling?
Yes, I have a younger
Nothing
brother.
like you.
No, we're poles apart.
So, though same genetics, same home, same food, probably same school many times, but so different. So obviously, from this we can assume there is some other data. Though genetic data is same, atmosphere is same, everything else, all the inputs are same, but there is some other data which is making you so different from your sibling, which is in every home, it is true. Very rare that two siblings are of similar nature. So obviously there is some other information which is making one person so different from the other. See, what makes you very different from another person is essentially what you remember, isn't it? Suppose I wiped out your memory and I wiped out another person's memory totally, both of them would act about similar. Only because you have a memory, it is so different. Now when we say memory, what you know as conscious memory is only a very small part of the memory. Do you remember how your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother looked like? No. Her nose is sitting on your face though, isn't it? Your body remembers. This body remembers so much that you cannot even imagine, that much it remembers. So you can say this is just genetic. It is not just genetic. There are 8 forms of memory. These 8 forms of memory, in the yogic way of looking at things, we say this is elemental memory, atomic memory, karmic memory, genetic memory, and articulate memory, inarticulate memory, and conscious and unconscious levels of memory. So 8 forms of memory. You are normally conscious of only an extremely small part of your memory. How your forefathers were 1,000,000 years ago, still even your skin remembers what should be the tone, isn't it? Nothing forgotten. So there is a tremendous amount of memory here. So what you're calling as karma, what you're calling as past life, there is memory. Past life is memory, isn't it? Right now what happened yesterday is only in your memory, it's not hanging anywhere here. So, does life go beyond the birth of this body? Definitely it does, but I don't want you to believe such things. Because the moment you believe such things, you start imagining things. This is gone crazy, particularly in United States. Anybody who says, if they like this person, oh, maybe our past life. 3 days of romance and then they realize there's no future.
Right.
So, if you start believing these things, your imagination will fly, it's no good. But if you access these dimensions, then it transforms you in a completely different way. Is it necessary for every human being to access these memories? Not necessary. Because most people cannot handle the memory of this life, they're freaking. Yes?
True that.
10, 20 years of memory, they cannot handle it. If you remind them of 10 lifetimes of memory, what will happen to them? They better not remember. Anyway, a whole lot of things are being done in the, all imported from United States largely, about past life regressions and this and that. These are just psychological processes. With psychological process, if you go to a certain level, essentially you're going into analyzing yourself. With this analysis, you could come to some conclusion, some imagery, whatever. Through psychological processes, you can never, ever break through the barrier of memory which separates you from one life to another. Something deeper than your psychological structure has to be activated for you to know that. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But what is the purpose?